Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is Anchor Snake. Hope y'all are doing well today. With the recent release of the MTC, the Greycat MTC, I figured I'd do a video on what ships does it fit in. Now, obviously, I'm not going to pull out an Intrepid or a ship like that where there's no way it's going to fit. But it's going to be ships like this, like the C1 Spirit that you see in front of you here. And just looking at it, you'd think it would fit. So that's what I wanted to know. I want to know, today's video is going to be about what does it fit in. Now, I don't have access to every ship in the game, but I do have access with a lot of them, but mainly because of Invictus that's going on. So I pulled out the C1. I rented it. I don't currently own it, but as you can see, as I was going towards this garage, I saw this monster right here. And this is the very first in-game, like actual player controlling Idris that I come across. It has that really cool P40 Warhawk nose on it. I love the nose art, man. So that thing looks amazing. And he was there trying to pick up some type of ground vehicle. I'm not sure, but I'll go ahead and get the MTC out and just go through the process to try to see if I can make this thing fit. I was probably at this point, I thought it was going to fit. I really did. And as you're about to see, those little red tabs sticking out on the edge there are going to be the undoing. It's not going to let the tires will actually pass between the ramp, hydraulic rams, but those little tabs sticking out just will not let it get by. And that's unfortunate. It really is. Unfortunately, the MTC is not going to be, it's not going to fit in there. So, and these little guys right here, this is what I'm talking about. There's a fire extinguisher there, then there's a door switch on the other one. And if those weren't there, I really do think it would go. So the next thing I picked up was this is the A1, A1 Spirit. This is the one that's got the bombs in it. I figured at least load it up and look inside and see if it has the same, those same tabs that C1 does. If it does, I'm like, well, there's no sense to even take it, go flying in. And sure enough, there they are. I love the Crusader stuff. And this is my personal C2. And I know it's going to fit, but I might as well pull it out. If we're going to show off ships that it'll fit in, I might as well show what the C2 looks like. The C2 Hercules. This is the one I actually earned in game, and as you can see, it goes in easy. You can back the thing up and turn it around inside the ship. And of course, I would get a server error. Why wouldn't I? And the next ship in the Hercules line is the A1. Now the A1 has bomb racks on the aft cargo area, and it will not allow the MTC to get by. I'm going to open it up and load it in from the front. Yeah, you don't even have to lower the guns. It just goes right in, no problem. And you got room to go to add this, and even maybe Pisces, and then maybe even some more cargo if you wanted to. Plenty of room in here. This is going to be this ship right here, and once again, I'm just going to pull it in and load it from the front. It's just a whole lot easier. And as you can see, goes right in, guns pointed high, no problem whatsoever. The next ship on the list is the Mercury Star Runner, and I don't know why, but I really like this ship. It's kind of like the big brother to the Intrepid. You definitely want to go ahead and retract. If you have the MSR, go ahead and retract the repeaters, and it'll go right in. It's a squeeze, but it'll fit with no problem. The next ship is Starlancer. It's a MISC ship, and in this particular video, I was filming another video, and it was at Harper's. I think it's Harper's Point on Microtech, and same deal. Just go ahead and retract. If you have any of the Starlancers, just go ahead and retract the repeaters, and it'll just go right on in without issue. The next ship on the list is the Starlancer Tac, but yeah, it just goes right in, no problems. Nice and easy. You don't even have to even worry about it. It's going to fit. Same deal. Just like the MSR, it goes together with the Starlancer Tac like peas and carrots, man. Like it was meant to be. So they designed this. I'm sure they designed this thing to fit in all these different locations. But this one right here, this is the last ship in the MISC lineup that I tested, and this is a ginormous. This is the Starfarer Gemini, which is like you can create fuel. It's a refueler is what it is. And to get in it, you definitely need to retract the repeaters. This one has a pretty shallow and really steep ramp, as you're about to see. But looking at the size of the door, at least its width and height, I was 100% confident that it was just going to go right in, because it really doesn't look it looks about the same size as the MSR. At least in my opinion, it did. And as I drive in, you're about to see that appearances can be deceiving, and it gets stuck for some reason, and I never could figure out why. It's hitting on something, but I can't, as you're about to see, it shouldn't be. It should just go right on in. But there's something that it's catching on, and I kind of wondered if it wasn't just the angle of that ramp being so steep. But there's going to be a camera view. We're going to switch to a different camera view in just a second, where I'm looking at the top of the thing, and as you're going to see, it's not hitting on anything. At this point, I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated. Like, why isn't this fitting? And I get the idea of, as you're about to see in a minute, just spin it around and try going in reverse. And in this particular camera view, once I get it squared up on there, you'll see there's nothing that it doesn't appear to be hitting anything. And I don't know, but it's going to be just see, look right here, it doesn't look like it's hitting on, there's nothing that it seems to be caught on, but obviously there's some type of something, there's some structure that's not colored in that I'm just not seeing. But at this point, I'm jamming on the gas, trying to get this thing to go. And it's not. It's slowly. It's kind of indiscernible, but it's slow. What I did here is I started raising the weapons up and down, trying to make it squat a little bit, to see if that would make it come in. But part of me still thinks it's something to do with that ramp, and I finally get it to come in. And it's at this point, guys, I realize it's like, yeah, it'll go in, but it's definitely not something you want to be doing. It's just too aggravating. But it will go in. I just don't recommend you try it. It's just not worth your time and effort. Next ship on the MISC list is this is the Freelancer Max. What I was concerned about, though, was that little bit that sticks down by the turret that's there on the aft end of the ship. That structure for that turret. I was worried that maybe the MTC might hit it, because the ramp on this one is very steep, as you can see. It's not a gradual incline. It's a straight up crawl. So I was like, well, we'll see, maybe. But as you can see perfectly, it just goes right in, no problem whatsoever. This is the Freelancer. This was the next ship in the Mist series that I wanted to test out. And this one here, I was like, I wasn't confident that it was going to fit, but I figured at least give it a shot and try it out. You just don't ever know. After the C1 and A1, I was like, well, there's about the same dimension. I'll at least give her a shot and check it out. And it was at this point, I'm like, boy, that's really small. I was like, at this point, I'm like, there's no way this thing's gonna fit. It's just not wide enough. But I figured at least been wrong before. Just maybe give it, see what it'll do. It's just not big enough. The tires can't even get past the hydraulic ramps for the door, so that's a no-brainer, and that's not going to happen. One of the most common ships in the whole entire game is the Cutlass Black. You see these things everywhere, and as a matter of fact, this was my very first ship in the game. Figure at least give it a shot and see if it'll fit in there. I wasn't confident, but it was at least worth the shot. You never know. I know the Greycat little mining rascal just barely fits in there. ROC. Took me a minute to think of it, but I know the ROC fits in there, but you know, it's definitely a little bit smaller than this. But man, if as you're about to see, if it was just a little bit wider, I mean just ever so slightly wider, and we could get past those hydraulic rams, I really wish they would make a Cutlass B version with, you know, a different, you know, they got all the different versions, but I wish they would make one with just a little bit wider cargo ramp. Make that opening just a little bit bigger. Get rid of the jump seats on the back, and open that space up a little bit. There's a lot of wasted space back there, as you can see, because of the way it contours back. Yeah, it's those rams, so you ain't gonna get past it. It's close. Yeah, if you made that just a little bit bigger, it would go. So yeah, the Cutlass Black is a no-go. Prior to the update where they redid the doors, I think that this thing would have fit, and at least we could have gotten in at least one of the bays. But now that the doors go all the way to the ground, which is a good thing if you're in the cargo jam, if you're hauling cargo. Prior to that, with only having one way to get in and out of the ship, was just excruciating. They used to just open up flat, you know, and you could run across. It was great, except when you fell off or if you needed to get back on. There was only one way to get back into the ship. And now since they've put these doors on there, now you've got multiple ways to get back in the ship, which is awesome. But at the same time, if they had left it the way it was, I really think we could have used this to haul the MTC, or you could haul a whole pile of them if you wanted to. As you're about to see, I pulled up to this thing and I'm like, this ain't gonna happen. See, that's what they used to do. Used to hang up there up at the top, but then they put it where it lowered down. There's just not enough real estate there to put the MTC on. That's where they used to stop, up high, and they need to put a switch where you can put it up high or down low. You know, give you an option to select it. But me, I'm going to at least try and see if I can get it on that little. Now maybe if you had a buddy, you know, and y'all are on comms and you could manipulate, have a buddy manipulating the door while you're inside of it. That might be it might be possible. I'm gonna try to get on this thing sideways. Or even maybe have a buddy with the tractor beam there, holding it. I don't know if it would move it or not. I didn't think to even try that. Yeah, but if that thing flipped out twice, you know, that, I don't know, it's just not meant to be. To continue with Drake, this is one of those ships. When I saw the Corsair, I was like, it's going to definitely fit. Yeah, but with this big cargo deck and ramp, and there was no doubt in my mind this thing was going to fit and fit well. The Corsair's a big ship. I know there's a lot of people that fly it and that love it, and I understand why. It's a pretty cool ship. It can do a lot of things, and now that it's been unnerved, I'm sure there's people that really love flying it. But you definitely, when you load it, go ahead and lower the weapons first. There you go, and you won't have no trouble. It goes together with the Corsair like peas and carrots. So that's another great option for you. The Corsair can hold the MTC without issue. The next ship in the lineup is RSI lineup, and this is the Constellation Andromeda, and this is the starter package ship, and it comes with this snub fighter in the back, as you can see right there. And it does have a drop down hangar deck. I mean, a cargo rack. And all of them do in this series. Yeah. Go ahead and turn off the weapons, and you can pull in underneath the snub fighter and get on that cargo lift. And you want to stay on this particular one, and the Taurus and the Aquila. You want to stay kind of over towards the right hand side, just to give you enough access for the cargo, for your door to open, so you can get in and get out. But it's tight squeeze, but it'll fit. It'll fit just fine, and it's still got room to get in and get out. And I wasn't really trying to get over to the right hand side. So it raises up, pulls into the Andromeda's cargo area without issue, with plenty of room to spare. See what I mean? No problem whatsoever. So the MTC fits it in the Constellation Andromeda perfectly. The next ship on the list is the Taurus. This is my ship. Honestly, I think this is the best medium transport ship in the game. It's definitely one of my favorites, and that door holds 168 SCU of cargo, and this thing will go on there no problem. You can pull it all the way to the front and still have room to load cargo, should you choose to do that, go that route. But again, you kind of want to stay over towards the right hand side. And that's it. It's easy breezy. So the next ship on the ship 3 is the Aquila, and really the only difference I can see in the Aquila in the Andromeda is that the front end is a whole lot cleaner. It's a little bit of a rounded front on it. See what I mean? How it's rounded. It just looks different, but still, it's, in my opinion, it's still the same ship. It's just got a different front end on it. But aside from that, it's got the same cargo ramp as the Andromeda. And as you can see, it's going to go right on in, no problem. Just like the Andromeda. It's just like a fancier version of the Andromeda. But really, it doesn't look no different except for that nose screen, the windscreen. That's the only thing that's really different between that I can see. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me. Let me know. The last ship in the list is kind of an oddball of the bunch. This is the Constellation Phoenix. From the rear end, you can see it. It does have a snub fighter. It still retains cargo grid, cargo area. Here we go. Just looking at it, you know, it looks like the same exact cargo ramp, but it's not. It's different, and it's harder to discern it, the difference at first, which you're about to see here in a minute what I'm talking about. But getting inside of it, you see how low the roof is. I kind of felt like this was going to be a problem for the MTC. Like I was like, is it gonna morph the MTC right out of the ship? I wasn't 100% confident that it wasn't going to create a problem. But this is the inside of the Phoenix. You can see it's kind of the fancy smancy version of this ship. And it is nice, but it's dated. It's very dated. It hasn't been updated in a long time. And there's a lot of detail missing. But we're going to take it over here real quick. As you can see, everybody's playing with their Connies. You definitely got to retract the guns on this one. It's really low. So yeah, it definitely drives into the Constellation Phoenix. But this is going to be funny when you watch what happens when it closes. It's going to kind of push the it's going to make the MTC squat. It's going to make its suspension squat down. Now I don't know. I didn't do any further testing on it to discern if it caused any like major damage or anything like that. But I suspect that in the future it probably will. But that's just my suspicion. We'll watch what happens when it closes all the way. See how it compresses the suspension down a little bit. That may or may not be a bad thing. But it's possible. And there we go. Constellation Phoenix. Now they do make the emerald one, and that emerald one is really pretty. But I believe it's just the same exact interior as the Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. And if I am, please somebody let me know in the comments. But during the filming of this series, there was an emerald Connie that landed. And that was pretty cool to see. You don't see them very often. There we go. And that's the Connie series. So I would recommend the Taurus. It's in my opinion, it's the best medium cargo hauler in the game. The Andromeda and the Aquila are very similar. They both will take the MTC well. Phoenix, in my opinion, is kind of useless. I just feel that it is, and I don't really recommend you use the MTC on this because it may cause problems with your ship and the MTC. So yeah, this is my recommendation. There's ships everywhere. It's Invictus, man. Everybody's doing all kinds of stuff. And the last RSI ship that I was going to check was the Zues CL, and this is I love the Zues. I really do. I love flying it. If there's a place I need to go, like Invictus, I usually load the Zeus up because I just love flying it. The Zeus has a very weird cargo area, particularly centered around, and I say weird, I mean the cargo ramp is smaller than the width of the internal cargo bay, and they did it for a reason. But in this particular instance, it's going to prevent the Zeus from actually getting on. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually going to roll up against the hydraulic rams of the door of the ramp, and it's just due to the width of the tires and everything, it just does not fit. I think it would fit if this ramp was a little bit wider and cargo grid area was a little bit, at least the door opening was bigger. I think it would fit. I think it would go in, and I think it would be right as rain. It'd be a tight squeeze, but it just needs to be opened up a little bit, ever so slightly. And I think you could put the MTC inside the Zeus. And that would give this thing a lot more options as well. So, still love the Zeus though. Next on the list is the Nomad, which is an odd ship. But this thing, I saw it. I was like, well, let's at least give it a shot because it's got this really strange pickup truck bed on the back of it, and I wasn't 100% sure that it wouldn't fit. So at least, but as you can see, it's tight, and it looks like it'll go. But in this particular instance, it's hitting that. That's a tractor beam. But it almost looks like it should fit. Like if it was just a little bit wider, the tires could get inside of it. It would almost seem like it would go. But it's just not meant to be. So the Nomad's going to be a big no. The next ship on the list is a really cool one, and it's the Hammerhead. And I picked this one up at Invictus. And I was very surprised by this ship. The first time I tried to fly it, I hated it, but after flying it around a little bit, I actually come to enjoy this thing. Basically, like the Taurus, like the Constellation series, is almost the same exact thing, and it fits. You can drive it right on there, no problem. And it's at the aft end of the ship. Is where this ramp, this drop down cargo grid is. It's not the biggest thing, but it's big enough to hold the MTC without issue. And as you're about to see where it's going to raise up inside it, no problems. And there you go. That's the Hammerhead with the Greycat MTC inside. This is the Anvil Valkyrie. There's a Asgard right there. This is the little brother to the Asgard. It's a good looking ship. It's a hauler. I think it hauls a 90 SCU of cargo. I was pretty confident that the MTC was going to fit in this. It's got a big, wide, as you can see, the body of it is really wide. I was pretty confident that it would fit. The MTC would go in it without issue. You got these two side by side. They really don't look too dissimilar as far as like size-wise, the only problem with this ship hasn't had a gold standard pass either. At least it doesn't look like it. It's like some of the, it has the old style hidden floating mystery switch for the door somewhere. It gives you the drop down F looking thing instead of a proper switch button to walk up and push like on the Asgard. But nevertheless, there it is. And we're gonna take, in the MTC, as you're about to see, you tuck the you know, the repeaters down, and it'll go right in, no problem. And between the Asgard and this, man, it's got great field of vision. It's easy to fly, and there we go. I actually went in there with the weapon systems on, but you definitely want to have them off. Plenty of room for the MTC inside the Valkyrie. Doors open, you can get out, no problem. You still have a little bit of room left for cargo, not much, but a little bit. If you really want to get creative, you can tuck things in through the side doors if you really want, you know, through the but that is the Valkyrie. And here is the Asgard, and this thing is beautiful, man. It really is nice. This one.
Aerospace. All systems online.
And I got in this thing and I fired it up, and I'm just looking around. I've got head tracker IR, and man, I'm immediately impressed by this machine. Look at it. It just looks good. It looks really good, and it's got the vertical takeoff mode. Yeah, and it flies really good, man. Like it's very good.
Landing gear raised.
Its axes are very tight and controllable. Is very little delay. Like, I'll give you an example. Like your Connie Taurus is really sloppy and yaw, but not this thing. This thing is just, it's a joy to fly. It really is. And at this point, I'm just jamming on the afterburners to see what it would do. It's the first time I've flown this. I'm just having fun, man. I've kind of forgotten about testing anything. I just want to fly this thing, and the field of view, man, is just amazing. It's unobstructed, just a whole lot of fun to fly. Just let the thing talk for itself, man. Man, look at this ramp, y'all. That's the shallowest ramp I've just about the whole game. I love how it's got proper buttons to push for the door. The Asgard can hold can hold any ground vehicle in the game, and as you're about to see, it takes the MTC without issue. Just drive it on in, you're good. At this point, man, I'm just having fun with this beautiful ship. Look at all the weapons, man. This thing, as the pilot, you have control of them. 6 repeaters. It comes with, I think, Panther repeaters, and then you have one of your crew members in the nose turret. This thing can bring some pain. At this point, I'm just having fun in it. It's just a beautiful ship. Well done. and it's going, man, and it's fast. It's pretty doggone fast for as big as it is. And now I'm just gonna be retarded and fly around through the city. And it was about this point when I first, was flying this thing, and I was thinking, man, the colors that they chose, they really match. They really do match Microtech very well. But if you think about it, there's another color scheme that this thing ships matches, and I don't know if they did it on purpose, but the color scheme reminds me of Cerberus from Mass Effect. You see it with the yellows and the blacks and the whites. That's what it looks like. It looks like Cerberus. It's like a Cerberus ship, and that's cool. at least in my opinion. See it? Yeah. Beautiful ship, man. Well done, CIG. This year's Invictus. Getting close here to the end. Everybody knows what this is. This is the Carrack, and it's a no-brainer that the ship will fit into this thing. But at least figure out, you know what? I had access to it through the Invictus rental program, so I figured, you know what? I'll take it out and rent it and show you what it looks like, what the MTC looks like going into the Carrack. Boy, what a ship this is. If you don't have it, I strongly recommend you go rent it. If any chance you get, because it's really cool just to walk around in and look at. It's not quite as intimidating as the Idris. The first time I walked around in the Idris, I got lost. But still, there's a lot of moving parts to this Carrack. I'm gonna say moving, but there's a lot of areas inside of it. It's a big, enormous ship. But it's really, really well done. I mean, really well done. Especially like the hab areas and stuff, man. It's all of it. It's amazing. But the cargo ramp on this ship is on the front. Another oddity about this ship is that there's only one exit and entry point, at least from the ground. And that's the cargo ramp. Now there is an area, a cargo, like an airlock, that you can marry up to a space station with. There is that, but at least on the ground there's only one way to get in and get out. Now there is a hangar on the top that you can open up, and you can fly a ship into, a small, snub fighter type ship into it, maybe a Guardian or something like that. But as you can see, it's a pretty big. It's a pretty big cargo area. But yet again, you definitely want to lower the weapons down. But it fits. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Almost about the size of the Corsair. It seems like, maybe. Maybe bigger than the Corsair. Maybe more like the MSR. Kind of reminds me of it. But there's plenty of room. Plenty of room, probably still put cargo and such. So, great addition to the Carrack. And there you go. The next ship on the list is a 600i. This thing here also has a drop-down cargo rack, sort of like the Taurus and the Hammerhead. It's a big, enormous ship as well, and this is another one of those ships that you seem like you can get lost in. It's not as big as the 890 Jump, by no means, but it's still a big ship. And it has a right there is the cargo ramp, or the cargo lift. It's a neat ship. It's slow and sluggish in SCM mode. It's not. This is a touring luxury ship. I'm trying to get it to find that sweet spot. There you go. To bring it down. And this thing's gonna go right on, no problem. No problem whatsoever. I don't know why you'd ever want to do this. I don't know, maybe you're a 600i. You love the 600i and this is what you'll want to do. That's fine. It'll do it. It'll do it. There for a minute, I figured I'll back into it and decide against it. I'm just going to pull straight ahead, pull into it like that. Just want to leave enough room for your door to open. And I realized that I probably should back up just ever so slightly, give myself room to get out of the MTC. There we go, about right there would be good. So yeah. It fits. It's tight. I mean, it's there, but we're gonna go up inside the 600i real quick. Raise it up so you can see what. If you've never seen it before, this is like the cargo hold area, and every part of the ship is fancy. Those are cargo holders right there on the wall. And folks, that's it. That's all the ships that I have access to. I'm just having some fun here. Now, obviously, I don't have the Polaris, and I don't have the Idrises and any of those type big ships, so I just don't have access to them. And I don't have access to the 890 jump either, and I just assumed that it would probably fit. Obviously, I didn't try it, like I said earlier, I didn't try the Titans and all that. It's just, these are the ships that most people would probably try to attempt to put this into. And just wanted to give you an idea of what'll work and what didn't. And at the time, I was having some fun, and I didn't realize it. Then I started and noticed this guy was kind of just sitting here watching me. And I think that is the misfortune. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. He was just sitting here chilling out and watching me do donuts and play in the snow. Man, this is a fun little rascal to just to drive around in and have some fun. And I think it's worth it, man. Get you one, you'll have a good time in it. Is it perfect? No, it's got some flaws. It's got some issues that the CIG needs to work out as far as like I've had one trip. I lost a box. It just disappeared, out of that back cargo holder thing. I lost it. It's gone forever. I tried doing some workarounds. I did manage to get it to reappear, but still, it was unusable. I actually had to claim the thing to get it out of my inventory. But it's just stuff like that. But all in all, man, what a fun little ride. And hopefully this will show you what's, I'll post up on here the ships it fits into, maybe a list, and the ships that it don't. So if you have one of those that don't fit, you don't just go get this and be disappointed. Maybe get it. But it does fit most of them. But surprisingly, the C1, A1s, it doesn't. Freelancer, it doesn't. Your Cutlasses and such, it doesn't fit into that. But for the most part, most of your bigger ships, it does. except for that Gemini. The Gemini doesn't. It will go into it, but it's not recommended. So I hopped out. I was gonna say, hey man, come land. I was like, come land, dude, and drive this thing. But he didn't. He actually had some RMC. He'd actually been scrapping. I saluted him, and he saluted me back, and that's pretty cool, man. That was a great way to end the show and end the video. This is why we play this ridiculous game called Star Citizen. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, y'all, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.